Hi, my name is Scott Scaldi. I'm the principal at Morro High School, and I'm absolutely delighted to talk about College Bound today. This foundational program that started at Los Osos last year and is now transitioning to us with our ninth graders is going to be immense for our school. The message that we can share with our students, our staff, and our community around rigor and preparedness for college is embedded in College Bound today. And so we're excited to get it started. The mentorship that these volunteers offer our kids is amazing. The fact that the underlying goal is that our students apply to, get accepted, and then attend universities is huge. Now, we do know that some of our kids, as they get to the end of that, might make a financial decision that allows them to attend Cuesta as part of that step. But our goal is to make sure that these kids aim higher than Cuesta. Cuesta is a great learning opportunity, but as the school principal, I loathe hearing students say, "I'm just going to Cuesta." It does a disservice to what Cuesta College offers, because it's Cuesta College, and it certainly lowers the bar for them. We want them to aim high. If they're going to college, they should apply, and they should get accepted, and they should put the steps in the road that lead to that. College Bound today is going to help us with that. I feel that even students who might not access it, just knowing it there empowers them to aim higher, and it allows us to share that message of rigor that we want for our campus. We're excited to kick this off. We feel like it'll pick up steam each year as it grows. We feel like friends of those students who access it will again advertise it as a good thing, and it'll grow. So I can't thank the volunteers enough for being involved in it. I know that we're going to start with just our ninth graders, but we anticipate it growing each year and getting better and better. And I'm super excited to have it on our campus.
My name is Taylor Laird. I'm the College and Career Specialist here at Morro High School, and this year's CBT Advisor. It's my second year here at Morro High School. Very excited getting to see the students in person and just having them in my office and being able to connect with them. So I'm excited to do that on a further level through College Bound today. So welcome and thank you for coming.
Stephanie Hargrave, I'm the assistant principal, and new to administration. Like Scott said, I was a history teacher for about 13 years. I taught little language arts, mostly middle school. So this was really my first foray into high school, and I'm really excited because what we're always telling kids about high school, now I know it's true because I work here. So always telling kids as they move from 8th grade into their freshman year, how much of a change it is, how much more responsibility they have, how important it is for them to start thinking about their college future. And I love that you guys are working with our 8th graders last year, following them into 9th grade, and just showing them that that's an important step, right? That we are thinking about college before we even get into high school and trying to plan. So a couple of quick things. Morro Bay has about 860-ish students, kind of fluctuates, and we have somewhere between 180 and 220 per grade level. Our freshman class is one of the smaller classes. It's under 200. And when we're thinking about some of the things that are available to our students, we have AVID in all 4 years. So students can do AVID, that advancement via individual determination, starting in middle school. And then coming in, they apply to be part of that freshman class, and they can do that for all 4 years. We have a new teacher at every grade level, but in 9th and 10th grade, they have the same teacher for 2 years, right? So that person cycles with them. And then 10th and 11th grade gets a little bit more specific, so those teachers specialize a little bit more with, 11th and 12th, with what those grade levels need. Right. So that's one of our programs. It's part of our college going culture already. And then we also have a really, really strong counseling department. So Taylor is part of that with our college and career specialist. And I love that we have a person dedicated to that. We have a space dedicated to college and career in our office. We also have 2 full-time counselors that work with our students, and they work with half of our alphabet. So we have Elena Smith, and she works with our A through LE, and then Jennifer Sheridan, she works with our LI through Z. And as you guys get to know our school more, you'll get to know them as well a little bit, right? I'll invite them to come in at some point. And they really do a lot for our students in terms of just college going culture. They make presentations every year to each grade level, specific to what that grade level needs to know about what they can do to kind of get ready at that grade level. Okay? Let's see, what else do I have on here for you? We have a ton a ton of sports. I think we have about 24 different sports that students play throughout the year. And our students are really involved in sports and clubs. We just did a wellness survey recently, and we have 69, I think it was, % of our students, it was close to 70, were involved in either a sport or a club on campus. So it is a big part of our culture here for our kids to get involved in some way, and we love to see that. And then we have probably, at this point, we have about 9 different AP classes that students can take, and we have honors classes at every grade level for all of our core classes. We have a lot going on in terms of just things that are available to students, just different ways that they can access things that might point them in the direction of something that they might want to do with their future. And all of the stuff that I gave you in your packet is available on our website under our counseling tab. And we are in the process of updating our website to be much more user-friendly, but it is all there. And then, as soon as we switch over to the new system, it'll be even easier to find all that information. So, anytime you're wondering, what can I do to support a student? What can I do to answer questions? You can always take a look at our counseling tab on the website. Or talk to us. We'll find you the answer that you're looking for. All right. So thank you all. Yes. Thank you for being here. I'm really excited to work with you. Okay. All right. And Dan, so no introduction needed.
Thank you, Stephanie. So a lot of time has gone by. A lot of things have happened to people. It's a good time for us to get caught up on each other a little bit. So what's the last 5 months been like for you? Just, in 15 words or less or whatever. And then perhaps more importantly, what are you looking forward to helping to accomplish at our new school next year? And how do you see yourself playing a role in that? And I was delighted to hear the principal, Scott, who's a great guy. I met with him for over an hour, one-on-one, early on. And he's so busy, it's incredible he gave me that much time. He said, this is a first step. He said, we may not be crawling, but we're walking right now. I want to run, okay? We want to aim higher. Now, when I first moved up here 2.5 years ago, I checked out the newspapers and saw the college admission stats for 7 high schools in the county. Morro Bay and SLO High School were 2 out of the 7. The highest percentage of graduating seniors in the class of 2020 who went on to 4-year college was at SLO High School. That was roughly 50%. This high school ranked number 6 out of 7 in the county at around 22%. Okay, so when Scott talks about wanting to elevate the college-going culture here, that's part of what he's talking about. Cuesta College is we have one of the counselors here. It's an excellent institution, does great work with a lot of students. But some of the students, particularly the higher performing ones, actually have a shot at a 4-year college, and they could maybe even get financial aid that would make it, believe it or not, almost cheaper to go than to Cuesta. But anyway, so we want to give options to students and their families so they, as Scott said, they can make an informed decision when the time comes. So I was really pleased to hear what he had to say, and personally, I'm going to support whatever his vision is. That's my job here. We're invited guests, and we try to complement and support whatever goals and objectives are set by the school. That said, I'm going to turn it over to all of you.
Hi, I'm Marcy Begleiter, and I participated in the program last year. I'm a retired college professor working in film and fine art. COVID has given me an opportunity to go back into my studio for the first time in a long time. So I'm now, again, after a number of years away, a practicing fine artist working in painting, drawing, and short videos. I'm in 2 group shows right now, one out of Brooklyn, one out of Santa Barbara, and so this is the gift. A lot was taken away, but this is the gift. So when I was teaching, I taught not just art, I taught in other departments, and so that's what I feel like I bring to the program, to be able to talk to students about how one can have a career in art and design, and how large those possibilities are. It's not just, oh, I'm going to be, kind of like a poor artist in my garret, which is a very 19th century idea, but that you can have a thriving job designing everything from masks to pants to housewares. Everything that we come in contact with every day has been designed. And so fine art is certainly a part of it and a joyful part of it. But I guess that's the piece. I also did a lot of, when I was teaching college, I did a lot of advising support, not just pure academic, but more like counseling students in terms of not just like what classes they were going to take, but how they approach studying and how they approach being successful in the college milieu. And so that's something else that I hope to bring to the conversation with the 9th graders as they move on.
Good morning. All right, so I was a mentor for College Bound Today last year with the 8th graders, and it was a really joyful experience working with those kids and seeing their excitement as they prepared to go into their freshman year. Just this past 5 months, I actually started grad school to become a therapist at Pacifica Graduate Institute. It's been 10 years between the time I graduated with my undergraduate, and so I'm excited to get back into being a student and learning some new skills and being able to be fully present for the kids in this first year of high school. I know I work in mental health currently, and I know that the adjustment with COVID has been particularly challenging for youth, and so I'm just happy to show up in any way possible to provide the support that is so desperately needed for them. Thanks.
I'm Gary Dove, a longtime resident of Los Osos. I graduated from Cal Poly. My career was electronic manufacturing, and I love electronics, and my hobby is audio, things like this. My wife is a teacher. I'm involved in Rotary, and that's what got me interested in College Bound. I was invited into Rotary to show children in middle school and high school a career in electronics. My profession was, we called it entertainment lighting control. And you say, what the heck is that? It's another word for it would be stage lighting, and Morro Bay High School has my stage lighting controls, and others around too. So my experience being a manufacturer and my experience in college, which I changed schools and I changed programs, might help me with the students in high school now. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Becca Gorin. This is my now second year mentoring with CBT. I am finishing Cal Poly this December with my bachelor's in sociology and comparative ethnic studies. And I'm currently a legal assistant for the city attorney for SLO. I think I'm most looking forward to and most interested in helping the students build the confidence and self-motivation that I think I was really lucky to be given when I was in high school and going through college. I think I had a lot of resources that made it very easy for me to feel really comfortable putting myself out there because I had a huge support system. And that has really, I've noticed in college now, carried me through with my own determination and ambition. And that was not something I did alone. So I really want to make sure that in this mentorship program, we're giving students the support system that I was given to be able to then learn how to support themselves throughout college. And I also coach mock trial, like Dan said, at Morro Bay High School. So I know some of these students, someone from our mentor group just joined mock trial this year, which is really, really exciting because I cannot plug mock trial enough. I think it's the best thing in the world. And so I'm really excited to blend those two things together to make sure that students are getting good opportunities and ones that at least I know of that made my life much, much easier in college. So I'm happy to be back. Thank you.
My name's Mark Liggett. I've lived in Los Osos about 4 years now. I'm a retired geologist and I've been very fortunate in my career to work on interesting projects all over the world. And retirement here has given me the opportunity to pursue hobbies which include history of science and collection of antiquarian books and scientific instruments, nautical instruments. My interest in education is that it's all about options. Having a good education allows you to go in lots of different directions with a career, and there are lots of different options in terms of types of colleges you might go to and the types of focus you might have in study. But that's what I would like to kind of encourage the students to pursue is options. So this is the place to do it, I think. Thank you.
I'm Peggy Lima. I'm a retired language arts teacher from the Central Valley. We moved over here from actually Eugene, Oregon. We had a short sojourn up there and I was homesick for my native state. And I've always said if I were younger and smarter, I would go back to school and be a geologist. So it's good to know that we have a geologist on staff here. I came back to teaching through being a substitute. I had never substituted before and ended up in a long-term assignment here at Morro Bay High, for which I am so grateful and I'm having such a wonderful time. I believe that CBT is going to provide the pathway for so many underserved students who tend to fall through the cracks. My primary focus has always been at-risk students and second language learners, because my husband was a second language learner and he did not have the opportunity to get the education that is now out there for second language learners. And we need to value their culture, their language, their way of life, and bring them into the fold so that they too can be successful. Anyway, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nalberto Marroquin, but I go by Berto. So I'm currently a Cuesta College counselor. I recently changed roles, and I'm actually the new Cuesta Promise counselor / coordinator. So I'll be working with all the local high schools with students that are interested in the Cuesta Promise. So hopefully I'll be working with you. The reason I joined CBT is because I can relate to the students in terms of being first generation, needing that extra support. And through my educational journey, I had that support from counselors and mentors myself. So I want to give back because I do believe in education, as everyone has mentioned, because it does provide options. And as you can see from my profession, I fully support helping students outside of the classroom.
Come on, go on my tippy toes. Hello, everyone. I'm Tanya Resendez, and I am a former school counselor up in the Bay Area, and now I am pursuing my licensure to be a marriage and family therapist here on the Central Coast. And why I joined CBT, well, one, because my friend Maribel Chavez and I worked together back in, it was about 10 years ago. I was the family advocate, and she was the counselor we would come in through a different agency and work at Los Osos Middle School. So Los Osos is just a special place in my heart, and now it's super great to be able to follow students. And I echo everybody that it just gives you options. And the more students learn that at a younger age, the better they are prepared for having options. So have a great morning, everyone.
Good morning. I always have to explain this voice. New group, people don't know me, wonder what it's all about. They're all sympathetic, want to hear about it. I need to tell you that it was a football injury that damaged my vocal cords. I'd like to say that it took place in a very crucial time in a very significant college game between SC and Cal, and they took me off to the roar of the crowd. But in reality, it was on the football practice field that it happened. Practicing side body blocks. You remember how that goes? Elbow comes up high, elbow smacked me right here. Thought I was going to die. Didn't, fortunately. But I think it took a long time of taking notes before the voice kind of came back. And I wanted to go into teaching, and I thought my career was over. But I found out that if you can't yell at them, you got to develop new techniques. I became a better teacher because I couldn't yell at him. At any rate, that's kind of a little background. I'm probably the senior group here. I turned 89 in September. I am of the opinion that if you want to live to an old age, keep moving. That's the whole secret, because when you stop, you drop. You're in a rut, and they shovel you in. So I felt, as a member of Rotary with Gary, whose motto is service above self. I'm figuring you got to be somewhere. You got to be doing something. Why wouldn't you do something that helps people? And so as a result, I'm a member of the Rotary Club. I'm on the Chamber of Commerce, Friends of the Library, Community Radio Station, LOCAC, and a few others. But my wife and I are community leaders for the 4-H for Los Osos. And we've had clubs from 20 to 50 kids, ages 5 to 19. And we've been fortunate enough to have some high school kids be our leaders for the little guys. So my career, 30 years in education, started out to be a high school teacher. I got out of the service. The first job I was offered was to teach 4th grade. I had no idea about 4th grade, but I said, sure. So I thought, well, I'll just take the job. It's only for a half year. I'll move to high school next year. Well, I taught 4th grade, and let me tell you, that was the most rewarding experience I've had in my life. You go out on that playground, those kids follow you around like you're king. You're throwing passes to these kids all recess long. You know, idolization is really tough to turn down. So I stayed in elementary school. And then I figured out, well, if you're going to be in education, if you want to earn enough money, you got to move into administration. I looked at high school, the opportunities for administration. I looked at elementary school, options for administration, and elementary one. So I became an elementary principal, central office administrator, assistant superintendent, and my last 11 years of career was a superintendent of schools. So I had a great career in education. It's just a natural thing for me to fall into this group. When this first came up, I said, you bet. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Marco Tueros. Like Gary said, I'm currently working at an immigration nonprofit up in San Francisco. It's called the Immigration Center for Women and Children. We work mostly with U visas and U visa-esque type cases. So that's for people who have been victims of certain crimes within the U.S. For the most part, I was working as a legal assistant, dealing with a relatively heavy caseload. But as of late, they've been kind of weaning me off that, and we're starting this new program along with the Immigration Court up in SF to provide legal orientations and other types of help for people with asylum and removal defense type cases. So that's been very cool because I've been able to get a lot of good experience with that. I'm also working on applying to law school, so I'm very much looking forward to having all that done and hearing back from them. Let's see, I graduated Cal Poly 2019 with a BA in political science and comparative ethnic studies. And I think one of the reasons I'm here, at least, is when I was in high school, I didn't have a very strong college-related support system. And that's not to say that I didn't at all, it was just definitely limited. And I see this as a much more in-depth way to really engage with the students and really help them get to that level, which I think is a very valuable and unique thing. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Barbara Wright, and I taught in San Luis Coastal for 23 years, and then I went into migrant education with the County of Santa Barbara for 8 years. I have 4 grandchildren that have gone through San Luis Obispo, Morro Bay High last year. My grandson graduated. I have a senior at San Luis High. I have a sophomore at San Luis High. And I have an 8th grader at Los Osos Middle School. So, and she's really enjoying it. But she wants to go to Mission, and I'm going to try not to have her go. This is such a great school. Anyway, I'm here because, first of all, I love education, and when you retire, you have to do something, and it was like, am I going to go to Woods? Am I going to volunteer at a thrift shop? Nope, I'm going to keep doing something with kids, and it's really been fun. It's fun to get to know the students, to encourage them, and it's actually a lot of fun to work with people like Jim Stanfill, Rick Robinette, Myra Valencia, and for all of you that are new, you're going to really enjoy it. And just a couple stories. I was migrant ed here about 10 years ago, and one of my students, just like we said, you have great counselors, but sometimes you need that extra push, and you all are that extra push. And my student, I helped him get his FAFSA. He went to Sacramento State, migrant education. He didn't have enough money to continue as a sophomore. So he went into the service, but whatever we instilled in him and that desire to keep on going, he took the service money and he ended up, and he's a math teacher in Santa Maria right now. And then as far as your immigration lawyer that wants to be that, one of my students, when she graduated, she went down to San Diego and from Morro Bay High, and she was picked up by ICE. She'd never been to Mexico since she was 3 years of age. She is still there right now. But I like to say whatever she learned here at Morro Bay High School, it empowered her as she lives now in Mexico with 2 children and her husband. She has been Employee of the Year twice at the company that she works with. She was a star student here at Morro Bay High, and I still keep in touch with her. And I'm just saying that education is a great equalizer. I don't care where you are. So welcome to all of you, and I'm glad we're here again. Thank you.
Well, I've seen all your credentials on paper, but listening to you, my goodness, I'm so excited to have you all here. What a fantastic group of people. And I'm already thinking of each of the background stories that you gave, all these little ways that we could use you on campus to do more. So thank you, really appreciate that. And as you can see from our mission statement, we're really trying to target our first generation college students as much as possible. I was the first person to go to college in my family, and I know what a difference that has made for all of the people after me, right? All of my sisters and my brother, just having that person who's had the experience that they can talk to. that they, can ask questions about what's my next step, how do I do this? So I think that's really important for us to get somebody, right, on that track in a family so that, the work that we do with them will benefit their brothers and sisters and cousins to come after them. So taking a look at our mission statement, we did want to put in there that we're expecting our students to apply to a four-year college at least, right? And we wanted to add that because much like our AVID program, that's something that they require, we really want to set the bar high for students and make sure that they have all the resources to reach that, right? Any questions on policies, yeah, or mission statement, yeah? Andy's question is if we come across something that is harmful to a student, we come across some knowledge. So in general, and I know a lot of you are retired teachers and therapists and college counselors and whatnot, so that kind of chain of command. If in general anything is disclosed to you from a student, anything that's harmful to them or maybe about abuse, anything that is a concern that raises a red flag to you, you can always contact Dan or myself and we will get the ball rolling. And most likely Dan will contact me and then I will make sure that we follow up appropriately. Yeah. Right. And a great thing to talk with students about is, when I get information like that from a student, I have to take a next step because it's about keeping you safe, right? Sometimes students will want to tell you something and they want you to keep it super confidential and they let you know, hey, you're like the only person I trust to tell this to. Thank you so much for trusting me. And as a person that you trust, it is my job to take a next step to make sure that we keep you safe, right? So that's a great conversation to have with kids, just to let them know that you will be passing information along. Yep. We're trying to set the bar pretty high for students in terms of their communication with us and letting us know what's going on with them if they need to miss a weekend for any reason. And then, making sure that they know that it's expected that they attend really regularly so that they can get all of the information and the expertise that you guys have, right? Okay. Yeah.